and Liberty Light. Truth cuts through the dark. A fireball on a mic, igniting every spark.
Welcome to Liberty Line. I am Noreen Cantor, aka Fireball, and I am here with Chris Mora, who is running in the 11th district for congressman against Barry Loudermilk. So tell us, Chris, why did you decide to do this and run against an incumbent?
Not just because I'm crazy. Well, really, when people ask me that question, I like to explain. I was the chair in Pickens County. Mm-hmm. Through redistricting, we used to be part of the 9th and the 14th. Mm-hmm. So we had Marjorie Taylor Greene and Andrew Clyde, which we had great support.
Yes.
Their constituent services was amazing. And I had really high hopes. And so after we got redistricted into the 11th, I tried to set up a meeting and whatnot. And overall, very nice guy to speak with. Mm-hmm. But we started to learn early on because I always had my phone number. So if anybody in Pickens County had questions or needed some assistance, mm-hmm. they would just call me directly. What I started to find out is when they were reaching out to Barry's constituent services, I'd always get a phone call back. And, hey, we didn't get help. Hey, I'm just getting a form letter back. Hey, I'm not getting a call back. So I was like, okay. Then we had some other instances that were happening where when he would come and speak in Pickens, which I would give anybody an opportunity to.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if I like you or not. I mean, that's the job of the chair, right?
Right.
Is to have your candidates there,
yep.
to give the opportunity for the constituents to speak to those candidates. And he just wouldn't answer a question.
That's not good.
So I'm just like, this is wrong. This is not how this is supposed to work. So I think it was after about, I would say about 2.5 years ago, we had a tomato sandwich picnic. That was something we do in Pickens.
Awesome.
I've been doing for like 20, 30 years. We have our candidates come and talk, and it's a reason to get all the Republicans together mm-hmm. and just kind of have a fun day, you know. And Barry had come, and I had Andrew Clyde speaking as well, since we helped get him in when we were part of the 9th.
Exactly.
Well, I guess some of the constituents had some questions and really made him angry, and he left. And we haven't seen him since.
Wow, what a good congressman.
So, for a while there, we were seeing some of his staff would show up every once in a while, and then they just stopped coming altogether.
Wow.
So then we started to realize, okay, wait a minute, we've been put in the 11th. What was the real reason we were put in the 11th? So then I started to realize, well, we were put in the 11th, and Gordon County is now in the 11th too. Yeah. Two very Republican counties. I think we're about 82, 84%. Same thing with Gordon. Mm-hmm. Well, we had to make up for Cobb turning more blue.
Yeah, it is blue.
But on the other hand, we're not a huge county. So, and you know this, sometimes when you're not a huge county, they don't waste their time coming to speak with you. Because there's not enough voters there.
It's all about the voters.
But we were enough voters to give them a 10 plus percentage increase in Republican votes.
That's awesome.
So yes, we are important. What they also failed to realize, we have the highest percentage, or we have very high percentage of veterans that live in Pickens County. We have a lot of retired CEOs. We're not country bumpkins, or.
Yeah.
So, these are some very smart people mm-hmm. that have some serious questions. You cannot run from people, and that's kind of really what kind of directed me. Okay. Where I was like, if things don't get better, we need to still have representation for not only my county, mm-hmm. but also, now with Gordon and Cherokee, and I've been involved with the folks in Cherokee for quite a while. And again, knew Gordon County very well when we were part of the 14th. We were together. So it was like, okay, no, we need someone to represent the area, which then made me start to, as I really looked into it, start to uncover some other problems.
There's a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. So tell us a little bit about some of the issues you're working on, like election integrity. That is a big one.
Election. Yeah. Well, as you may know already, I have my Washington Post article from 2023
Yep.
as the election denier,
Yep.
which I wear with a badge of honor.
Absolutely.
I tried to go after, well, it's not even go after. The party in Pickens realized there was a problem, that we knew people were hesitant to go vote, that their vote didn't count.
Right.
And after the primary in 2023, I couldn't believe Raffensperger won by the percentage he did in Pickens, Gilmer, and Fannin. And the reason for that is Jody Heiss's family are from these three counties.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. And a lot of people there were thinking the same thing. How is he winning by 10 plus points?
Oh, we know how.
In some. So I said, let's do a recount. We're a small enough county. We have volunteers that can do it. I'm sure we can, if we go to the Board of Elections, we could get some support from some of the Democrats, and we can do this as a county. It wasn't going to be a Republican Democrat thing. We would do this as a county to either prove that, sure, this is exactly what we had in terms of ballots, giving some confidence, or possibly uncovering something. And sure enough, we went to the Board of Elections in the county, and one of the two Democrats agreed, thinking this is a great idea. In fact, I remember in the meeting, we can probably do it this weekend.
Oh, wow.
But then the county attorney stepped in.
Uh-oh.
To say, hold on a minute, we need to clear it with the Secretary of State.
Uh-oh.
And then it just all unraveled from there.
It fell apart, didn't it?
So then we needed to get a Superior Court judge's order to be able to unseal the ballots during that time. So I ended up suing the county not as a bad county. It was more of this is the only way we're going to be able to count the ballots.
Right.
And when we went through that process, one thing I learned, there was something they was definitely hiding.
Yes,
they did not want us to have access to those ballots. I had every commissioner, police officer, you name it in town, call me on a daily basis. Kristen, you dropped the lawsuit. Kristen, you dropped the lawsuit.
Wow.
Kristen, you dropped the lawsuit. And I don't know if it was because the two races that I wanted to recount were the governor's race and the Secretary of State's race.
Absolutely.
But then our Board of Elections started getting letters from the Secretary of State saying, if you attempt to do this,
oh my goodness,
you will not only face fines, but you could also face jail time. So to completely scare them from doing what they wanted to do.
Oh my gosh.
Which we know they have the right to do, as long as the ballots haven't left the Board of Elections building.
Right.
They still, the supervisor has the right to do that.
Exactly.
Well, while we're in the middle of our lawsuit, the county magically moved the ballots from the Board of Elections to the Superior Court.
Yeah.
And once that's there, it's almost next to impossible
to get them.
So, yeah, but again, that always in the back of my head, why are they fighting so hard to do something which actually would have been very positive to even prove, hey, Pickens County, see, there's not a problem. But they wouldn't let us see it. They wouldn't let us do it.
Because there was a problem. The election was stolen, and we know that.
Yeah.
So there's no way. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for standing up against crooked politicians, the establishment. We appreciate that.
We all have to do something.
Absolutely. And that is why you're going to make a good congressman, because you stand up for what is right. Now, you are a Trump supporter, correct?
Yes.
America first.
Yes.
And you will support Trump's agenda when you get in?
Absolutely.
All right. That's good. All right. Now, I know you got a lot of veterans up there. Tell us about the veterans. And by the way, we thank them for their service.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, I was looking at, we went over the demographics when we were looking to run. And one thing that stood out, Cobb County, which is a part of the 11th, has the largest number of veterans in the entire state of Georgia.
Wow.
Pickens County, like I said, has a very high, I think it's 12.2% of all residents are veterans. Similar in Gordon, and Bartow. So we have on average somewhere between, and this is numbers from 2023, the new numbers haven't come out yet, looking somewhere between 80,000 to 100,000 veterans in those 5 counties.
That's awesome.
So, you know, I started to see in here, especially in my county, there are some problems. Now, we did get a VA clinic in Pickens County,
Awesome.
which is pretty amazing, but
Yeah.
it makes sense now knowing we have
that many veterans.
over 10% of our population are veterans.
Mhm.
But then I started hearing from the veterans saying, well, we're assigned to these facilities, but it's not been great because the doctors that they're hiring to run those clinics, they're quitting.
Oh,
So
no.
we may have an appointment. I see one doctor one time. I may go back 3 months later, and there's no doctor on staff at that point until they get somebody else in there. So some of these veterans are having to drive to Tennessee to be seen.
Oh, that's awful.
Or going all the way to the city to be seen, which is kind of tough. I mean, you're talking some older folks.
Mm-hmm.
So we did actually a town hall this Saturday.
Okay.
Up in Pickens, and I invited people from Cobb, Bartow, Gordon, Pickens, and Cherokee.
Absolutely.
And we had 4 of the veterans groups, 2 in Cobb, 1 in Cherokee, 1 in Pickens show up.
Nice.
And it was great because it was funny. They were like, you asked us to question, you gave us an opportunity to speak. We're tired of going and meeting our politicians that'll speak for 45 minutes to an hour. And then, okay, he's got to leave right now, folks. And he's out the door.
Yeah.
So we let him be able to speak for about 45 minutes, really got to understand some of the problems they're having. But another thing that I did when we really started to look at the demographics of the area, I needed someone to be, not being a veteran,
Mm-hmm.
I can't talk their talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a gentleman named Scott Hector,
Okay.
Retired veteran, and asked him if he could come on board to the campaign.
Awesome.
And he would be my translator. So
for the veterans.
So this way, the veterans have a contact to go to.
Yeah.
If they're needing some assistance and whatnot, they've got someone, at least with the Mora campaign at this moment. But I wanted them to see, there should be someone like that in constituent services for all our congressmen.
Yes, that's a great idea.
I like I said, there's a difference when you have someone that had, Andrew Clyde has amazing constituent services. I don't even care if you're in the county or not. The congressmen need to realize they represent, even though they represent a certain territory, they still represent Georgians, because the way they vote affects everybody in the state.
Yes.
So that was one thing that was kind of my pledge, is that, again, I am there for the 11th district. This is what, that's going to be my first, my utmost importance, is representing those people, regardless of what's going on in the rest of the country. It's the folks in the area. And I love where I live. I love Pickens County.
It's beautiful up there.
I always tell everybody, and I even said it this weekend, it was one of the places used to live in East Cobb. And when I moved to Pickens, we get snow from time to time. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you break down. Mm-hmm. And I know if I broke down in Cobb, maybe not so friendly, but I know if I break down in Pickens, in 5 minutes, I'll have 10 people stop. Aww. Hey, bud, are you okay? Can I help you? Aww. Do you need help?
That's sweet.
So I learned, we take care of our own, and that's pretty special.
That is special, because people don't stop on the side, on the side of the road anymore. That little town is just wonderful.
Yeah.
People know. Now, when you get to Congress, are you going to have a veterans liaison?
Absolutely.
That works in your office so people can contact?
Absolutely.
That is amazing, because that's what we need. I know Doug Collins is the head of it. Mm-hmm. Have you been in contact with him about that?
Actually, I've reached out to them yesterday, because I promised the veterans that I spoke to on Saturday that either we'll see if there's anything we can do. And again, I know he's busy and he's in DC.
Yes.
See if there's anything to do, either getting him or getting some of his representatives from his office to come maybe help and speak to and address some of the issues that some of the veterans are having. It's really sad. There is a bill that was presented to Congress October, November of last year, and we can't get it out of Congress. You would think a veterans bill, something that was a veterans bill of rights.
Yeah.
And it's a no-brainer, right? I mean, it's not something that, who would stop a bill like that?
The Democrats.
But since it's going nowhere, luckily last week, Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee in the Senate presented a bill very similar, a Veterans Bill of Rights to help them
Good.
navigate their way through. I think it will get through the Senate. The only problem is it's got to come back to the House for a vote.
Yes.
And if we couldn't even get the original bill to go through, what are we? But as you know, and as you watch, and I know you do, there's a lot of stuff that I can't explain why that's not getting through the House right now.
Exactly.
They're not even presenting it on the floor. And that's a problem. And it would be nice to have more congressmen speak up. And I'm sorry, I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. Speak up.
Yep.
If it's something that your area needs or whatnot,
Yep.
for your constituents, talk about it. Bring it out. Put pressure on the speaker. Get this on the floor.
Yes.
Let's put it up for a vote.
Speaking of speakers, Mike Johnson, what are your thoughts?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm going to be, I'm going to reserve that for till I know. Because, it's kind of like when people question me about Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both know Trump sometimes does things for a reason that we just don't quite know
Not yet.
why he's doing it right then and there.
Exactly.
But then down the road, you learn, that was very smart why you didn't do this, that, or the other at that time.
Yeah.
But now I see, these things need to be in place for this to happen.
Yep. Trump is always 10 steps ahead of everybody else. Everything falls into place. And then you know what's going on.
Absolutely.
So that's good. Okay. I know you got a lot of farmland up there. Tell us about the farmers and some issues they're having.
In terms of growing.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of selling their products, in terms of having to deal with EPA issues, federal government telling them what they can or cannot do with their land.
That's so wrong.
It's hindering them. It's costing them a ton of money, even borrowing money. I think there should be obviously more money available to them when they need them.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of a dying breed as well.
It is.
Why do we have to get our food from overseas when we could obviously grow it here?
We can, and it's healthier.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But we're basically making it difficult for these farmers to survive unless they have something very special, specialty. But and it is like even in my county, half my county is very populated. The other half is I live on the rural side.
That's awesome.
I've got a dairy farm behind me and I've got a horse trainer, to the side of me. But, again, they need some assistance. They also don't think they have a voice right now in DC. And this is the thing that really, and it doesn't matter if I'm talking veterans, if I'm talking, because even Congressman Clyde's a veteran. We have other veterans that are congressmen in the state of Georgia.
Absolutely, we do.
Why are we not working together? Because
it's
the same question when I went out to Cherokee County and the commissioners, I'll go try to speak to a commissioner at a meeting or whatnot. And immediately, no, I don't endorse anybody. It's like, I'm not coming to talk to you about endorsement.
Yeah.
But when's the last time your congressman decided to say, hey, commissioners, is there anything my office can do for you? Is there any special projects maybe that federal funding might be able to help with, and maybe not have to pass it all as tax dollars onto the folks in that county? Maybe there are some federal funds for this stuff. Why are, again, I think we're missing working together, and we're missing the boat. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. And don't tell me you're too busy, because my understanding of the numbers, Congress works 60% of the year.
Yeah. And they do nothing.
What are they doing the other 40%? They should be in their district working with the folks in their district.
Yep.
They should be picking up the phone and going, hey, Andrew, I've got a really great idea. Do you have this problem? Maybe we can do a bill together, get this on the floor. But it's not happening. And I can't even say it's not happening everywhere.
Right.
I mean, we've lost our way along the way.
Yes, we have.
To not open up that conversation. I don't know, is it because they're afraid to have a conversation or afraid to have or speak out publicly, which I do know there's a lot of politicians that do have that problem. They, quite honest, if you can't speak in public or answer questions in public, you shouldn't be in office.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to be preached to.
Yeah.
I go to church on Sunday for that.
Yes.
If I ask you a direct question, I want a direct answer. Don't tell me, hey, you know, our politician's here for the next 45 minutes and he'll answer questions afterwards. And then you end up finding out he's there for 3 to 5 minutes and his people are ushering him out real quick.
Yeah.
Then you're getting paid a lot of money to represent us.
Yes.
You know, I almost think, and it's funny as people ask, why didn't you run for a state position? And one, I couldn't do the time. I work a job.
Yeah.
Currently right now. Again, that's only a temporary, you know, the state position. I actually think they have a harder job. I really do.
Okay, explain.
I think the state should be in control, right?
Yes.
I mean, that is what our Constitution says, right?
State's
the
power,
state,
yeah.
exactly. The states have the power.
Yeah.
So every little thing they do really affects all of us.
It does.
Even more than I think sometimes on the federal level. Again, federal, there's tons of overreach that they should never be having votes on.
Right.
That's unconstitutional. As I go back and look at some of the real true ID, I mean, they just built a database that you should have never been able to do with the true ID on your driver's license. It is unconstitutional. But there's a whole bunch of other examples like that as well.
Yeah.
But I just look at, like I said, the state reps, one, they get paid nothing to do that job.
Right. It's very little.
It's very little. That's why most of them are retired. But even to navigate through what I know about what goes on at the Capitol, you know, it's either you play ball or you get nothing done.
Yeah.
You don't get any assignments. You don't get no committees.
No money.
No money. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's very tough, I would say, to navigate. I mean, that is a very tough job. And like I said, I think it's almost, for example, we've got, you know, affordability is the thing that's now.
Yeah, that's the word.
The word. You know, we're approaching now, we know homeowners insurance has gone up 15 to 30%.
Oh, it's horrible.
We know taxes, county taxes property taxes have gone up on a lot, especially in my district, especially there. And I'm thinking, okay, so you have all these people that have mortgages. A lot of people in my area are on fixed income and they're about to get their new rates coming up.
Brother.
So if you take on 15 to 30% in insurance, and now you've got in property taxes are raising, these people could see anywhere from $400 to $600 to $800 a month increase.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
When they see their new escrow numbers with their mortgage.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to price these people out of their homes.
I know. And you're up there in the mountains, and that's a retirement place. People love to go to retire there. Now, you guys don't have any age limit on taxes, like 65 or 70, where there's no school taxes?
No, when we can't do it there. And I'll explain why. Because we have probably 60+% of our population is of retirement age.
Okay.
Our schools would suffer greatly because there's not enough tax dollars.
If you
in a lot of the working families that are there are mostly blue collar.
Yeah.
And that is another issue we have. We're one county in the entire state of Georgia that has no flowing body of water. So we have to buy our water from other places, which keeps out industry from coming into Pickens County. So we have no major places besides Georgia Marble and whatnot. That's it. That's it.
Wow.
So most people are transient, but yeah, we wouldn't have enough money for the families that are there. And I try to tell everybody, look, if the schools go to crap, guess what's going to happen? Your property values are going to go down.
Yeah.
So you can't allow that to happen. So knowing that, and I think that's what maybe people don't research before they
Right.
move there, is that, yeah, you have property tax. Now, our property tax compared to other counties is very low.
So your rate's low.
Rates low.
Okay.
Yes. But it's enough to keep the, like I said, keep the schools. We have an amazing high school. They've got everything all the other counties have.
Wow.
So yeah, it works for us. It's not, again, there is a reason why.
Makes sense. It makes sense. But speaking of property, Hall County, where I live, is very high in property taxes. And our school is doing poor, very bad at the bottom. So taxes do not make a school do good
No,
at all.
it's the people that are running that
You,
Board of Education.
you're so right.
Yes.
You're so right. Because our board,
How much
We won't
money are
get
they
that.
wasting?
oh, you want to see their budget? It's horrible how much money they're wasting. And we just gave our board of supervisor a raise. So
That's a problem.
it's a problem. So we need to turn over the Board of Education because they're doing horrible.
Yep.
But okay, let's talk about chemtrails.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what's going on.
Do
with
I
those.
think that they're probably poisoning us?
Oh yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Why is it that planes that fly over Tennessee now, there's no trails?
Really?
But why is it? That's what I hear.
Wow.
Because they passed that law.
That you can't have
That you can't have
chemtrails.
chemtrails, but yet, as soon as they come into Georgia, why do we still have chemtrails? What's the purpose?
Weather manipulation.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we need to pass a law, but we got a lot of people in Congress that don't have the balls to do anything. Yeah, I said balls. They don't. They're just until they can retire and they live on us, which is terrible. But they do nothing. Most people in Congress need to be gone and have people in there that will stand up for what is right, like
That
you.
is why I think that no one should make a career in. I mean, it was never intended that way.
No, it wasn't.
And it's okay to have turnover there.
Yeah.
Again, as I always tell everybody, I'd like to go 3 terms. And
Yeah.
at the end of the 3 terms, hopefully there's someone smarter and younger than I am
Yeah.
to then take my position. Hopefully, though, people will get a good understanding of how things should be working so that it can then be duplicated for that next person that comes in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really that's
Do you believe in term limits?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
But it gets rid of the good and the bad.
It does. It does. But I think overall, as a country, we have to start making that shift now.
Okay.
If we don't, we're screwed. We
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah. Because there's some good ones, not a lot up there, but there's some good
Well,
ones.
look at our healthcare, right?
Oh, we won't even.
You
get
still
into
have members that were there back when Obamacare was put in place.
Oh yeah, like Pelosi, pass it and
There's
we'll
a-
find out what's going on.
But there's a lot of them that are still there.
Oh yes,
Democrats and Republicans.
yes.
Why are we waiting to until it's about to implode to
Mhm.
do something about it? They've had how many years to fix this problem? We're
Uh-huh.
going to see it here next month.
Oh yeah, Trump
Okay.
has got a plan.
He better have a plan.
Oh,
'Cause
he does.
Here's the thing. Congress should have been working on this
They
last
should have.
year
They should have.
because otherwise we're going to face what we faced last year where they're going to pull their government shutdown again,
Oh yeah,
right?
the
To
Schumer
hold us
shutdown.
hostage, to
Yep.
hold us hostage. So let's extend out. How did we have Republicans vote to extend? How did that bill get through the House?
I don't
What was
know.
it? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago?
Was there 15 Republicans?
Yes,
That went, I
that
mean,
went
how
there, so-
come?
That's not going to fix it.
No, it's not.
It's not fixing anyone's problem.
There again, cojones on people.
Well,
don't
they
have
need to
them.
understand the process too, because there's a lot of politicians
Yeah.
out there that are voting on things they don't understand.
Then they should vote no.
Absolutely.
If you don't understand it, don't vote yes, vote no, and that'll give you time to figure out what to do with it.
I mean, if people realize that the day of the private practice is
Mhm.
dead,
Yeah.
most of the hospitals have purchased all the private practices. Then the hospitals control the pricing. The hospitals
Everything.
then are in bed with the insurance companies. We have to break that cycle.
We do. We do. It's horrible. Remember when Trump was first in office and they were trying to get rid of Obamacare and John McCain did this to keep it?
Yep.
At that point, if he would have done this, it would have been gone. But he was that one vote. And people are really upset at them for doing
But
that.
don't you think that this is their whole plan to have socialized medicine?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Remember?
I think that was the goal from the very beginning.
They want Medicare for all.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, I'm on Medicare. It sucks. It sucks. The money you have to pay to have it, the deductible you pay, and then the coverage is horrible. So you need to get a plan G that covers all the crap that they don't cover.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I have. So it's expensive, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So insurance sucks and we got to change it. And shouldn't have said suck. Sorry. But it's horrible. And why are we paying illegals for healthcare, for housing, electricity, give them a car discount, everything? They come here just to get our money.
Now, I don't think all of that, some of it is, but all of that is in every state. There are certain states that are giving everything.
Why?
Luckily in Georgia, I don't believe that that's all. They're getting all of that, but I can guarantee you in some of these California and other places,
the blue states,
absolutely, it's carte blanche. They are letting them have everything they need.
They get everything. But one thing that really bothers me is why do we treat our veterans the way we treat our veterans and treat our illegals so much better? I mean, we have veterans that are homeless. A veteran should never be homeless. Our vets serve our country. And they come back and they don't have a place to live and they die on the streets. But illegals have these beautiful hotels that they put them up in. There is something wrong with our country. We need to treat our veterans so much better than we do.
We need to treat our veterans.
Yes.
We need to treat our American citizens.
Absolutely.
There should be no reason we should. If we weren't giving all this money to the illegals, we would wipe out homelessness.
Yeah. You mean the veterans?
I'm talking in general.
Yeah.
Think of the American population that is even living on the street. Vegas.
Oh, that's
the people
horrible.
living in the tunnels in Vegas. We could actually make a dent and do something. Think about all the overspending and the fraud that's going on.
Oh, we won't talk about
You and I were talking about that earlier, and it's like
Minnesota fraud. Oh, everywhere.
But if you could get that in Minnesota and in Oregon and all these places, in Georgia, where they're uncovering fraud, right?
Yeah,
or waste, I should say.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Could we not have a balanced budget?
Absolutely, we should have a balanced budget.
Could we not be eliminating a state tax? Could we not be eliminating a federal tax?
Absolutely.
Again, the whole thing behind tariffs, that's where actually way back in the day, we actually, and I wish I remembered the name of who it was, back in the day, paid off our national debt with tariffs.
Yes.
Originally, that's what was done.
Yes.
And then, of course, Congress came in and screwed it all up.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And of course, we started at a very low federal 6-8%, I think it was. And over the years, that just climbed and climbed and climbed because we just don't know. We don't know how to stop spending.
We got a spending problem. You are so right. So what are some of the other issues that are on your heart that you want people to know in the 11th?
You know, one is, like I said, I want to represent them. That's first and foremost. I want to see an overall change in the way our politicians interact with the community. I want to see some responsibility for the way and be able to explain why they voted for a bill. There needs to be more transparency there. I think a lot of them hide or not even show up for a vote.
Absolutely.
That happens
100%. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, is it, can we afford it? If it's a bill, can we afford it? And is it constitutional?
Yeah.
And is it needed? Those are the three things.
Yeah.
Is it needed? Is it constitutional? And can we afford it? If you can answer yes to all three of those,
then it's good.
Then vote yes.
Yes.
If any one of those three is a no, you shouldn't vote for that bill.
I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
It's that simple.
But people don't realize how simple it is. Once they get into office, they turn into different people because the lobbyists pay them off. They make all this money.
Well, that's and you know this better than anybody. That's the difficulty of running for office. When you're trying to go after an incumbent.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at where my competitor gets his money.
Yeah.
It's mostly from lobbyists. It's
Yeah.
90+% from lobbyists.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting the 10,000, 50,000, almost 100,000 to fund my campaign.
Right.
I've got grassroots that
There
I'm
you
asking
go.
for 15, 20, whatever you got in your pocket,
Yeah.
right? Help me pay for some signs. Because realistically, at this point, I've been funding my campaign myself.
Awesome.
But there's a certain point where it's like,
You
okay,
can't
guys,
do that.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need a boatload of signs. We need to get my name out there. We need to get, all these, and it all takes money.
It takes money.
Um,
Absolutely, it does. Believe me, I know.
but we're at a disadvantage, and that's what's kind of kept folks in office all this time, because it is so hard. We're going against the machine.
Yes,
and
we
one
are.
thing I even brought up this weekend when I was speaking to some folks was that one thing I don't want to do is take money from lobbyists, corporations, because here's the thing: the minute you take that money, you owe them.
Yes.
And they own you.
Yes. Yes.
So, wow, can you imagine if we could eliminate the lobbyists? Would that change the way our elected officials operate and run things?
Oh, absolutely, because it probably wouldn't run for office because they couldn't get the money.
Or at least we'd have people doing it for the right reasons.
Exactly. If the money and the power wasn't there, people like us would win elections and we could change things.
Yes.
And we need to do that. Okay, now Trump has been doing a really good job. I mean, he secured our border. We have 0 people coming in, which is amazing. So up in your neck of the woods, do you have a lot of people that are undocumented up there or no?
I would say in Gordon and Pickens, no.
That's awesome.
The minute you hit Cherokee, some of Bartow and Cobb, yes.
Yes.
We've definitely seen it. And again, it's weird when you live in Pickens, you either go north or south. Some of the things to go shopping, because we don't have a ton of shopping there.
Yeah.
So you see it when you go into Cherokee. You see it when you go, go to Cobb. But here's the thing. My father came to this country from Mexico.
Okay.
Way back when.
But he did it legally.
He did it legally.
There you go.
Now, here's the thing that I've heard from even others in the district that have been here for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
They're mad.
Yes.
They were mad during the Reagan years when Reagan gave amnesty in the 80s. Because, again, when you go through that process, which can take 10, 12 years.
Yes.
And a lot of money.
A lot of money. Absolutely.
To then all of a sudden, here's amnesty.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. It made a lot of our new citizens very angry.
Yeah.
It made my father very angry because he worked really hard to become a citizen in this country.
Yeah.
To give us the opportunity, me and my family,
exactly,
the opportunity to for good things. It's fun. Being from Mexico, I grew up in Chicago, and it was very odd.
Okay.
And people question, he's from Chicago, he's a Democrat. My father has been a Republican from day one.
That is amazing.
And it is, because it's so different than you would expect. But he was in banking.
Okay.
And he liked money.
Well, who doesn't like money?
He liked to keep his money.
Okay.
So I think that had a lot to do with having the understanding is, hey, I work hard. I want to keep my money.
Yes.
And, more of the Republican principles of, hey, you work hard, you can succeed, but the whole goal is to keep what's yours, right?
100%.
Not just give it away.
Yes.
So.
Yes, and personal responsibility.
Absolutely.
People need to take personal responsibility for themselves.
More than ever right now.
Exactly.
It's very easy to push stuff on other people, other things. And it's like, wait a minute, you're a grown adult.
Mm-hmm.
There's consequences to your actions. Just like we see that's going on all over the country with these protests, right?
Yep.
Stand out in front of a car. Hey, you might get run over.
Yeah.
That's common sense. You and I are not going to go stand out in front of a car.
No,
that's
I'm
coming
not.
Because I know if I'm behind the wheel, I might run you over because I'm not stopping in the middle of a crowd.
Yeah.
If I have my family in my car, I'm not stopping. I'm sorry, it's me or you.
And it ain't
going to be me.
Exactly. But people are being paid to protest.
Yep.
And they don't care what they're protesting. They protested up in Minnesota and shut down a Target because they use the Target parking lot as a landing place for ICE. Now, tell me that's not stupid. And then Sunday they went to that church. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. I think they've crossed a line.
Well, that's been changing for years. I think that's just the decline in human decency. I mean, I know growing up in Chicago, that was one thing you never did. And buildings are tagged all over the place, right? Spray painted and whatnot. But no one would ever desecrate a church by spray painting it
or walking in a service
or doing what was done.
Oh my gosh, that was awful.
But we've failed
miserably.
Yes, we failed. We failed our children. I mean, we need to start taking some responsibility on why our kids are the way they are.
Yeah.
Why things don't matter anymore. Why they're so desensitized to shootings and everything else. I mean, you and I grew up, I think, in a very similar time. If you had a beef with somebody, you fought.
Yeah.
In school. Yeah, you might get a black eye or you might get beat down.
But they don't do it again.
But it's okay. I can get up and I'll be back the next day.
And then you become friends.
Very true.
Yes.
Because sometimes you have to teach somebody a lesson.
Exactly. And I think that's what we need to do.
Yes.
I think those ICE people need to get those water cannons and freeze people.
I remember seeing videos from the 60s when the Democratic Convention was in Chicago.
Yeah.
And you had Daley said, you know what? Enough's enough. Let's go crack some skulls.
Yes.
And guess what? It kind of stopped after that.
Yes.
A couple people with, busted open heads and whatnot. They think twice before they go out. Now, I'm not saying let's go purposely injure people, but I'm just saying.
No. I know what you mean.
Start using your head, people. I mean, some serious things. And it was funny. I was listening to someone who actually came to the county, one of the political figures last week, and not to discredit the woman that died.
Yeah.
And it's true. And it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican.
It's sad.
Someone's dead.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, and this woman sounds like she was also talked into doing something. Maybe,
she was paid. Yes.
Yeah. That she wouldn't have normally done. So, it's sad and something has to change.
What's going to change? What's going to take to change it? I mean, a poor lady got shot because she didn't listen to ICE. Is it going to be an ICE officer needs to get shot or something? Is that going to stop it, or is that going to make them do more? We can't have this keep going like the Summer of Love in Portland or Seattle. Horrible.
Yes.
Oh, it's just a peaceful protest, though.
That held people hostage for weeks.
I know, but it's a peaceful
Women were
process.
getting raped. People were getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't even go in ambulances and take those people out.
I know.
So
what's going to stop it?
I don't know. Is it a matter of once people start to see that maybe people do care? I think there's such a hard shell around people because they've been screwed over so many times or feeling like there's nothing else they can do. I was watching something on X last week, and it was a mother talking about taxes.
Yeah.
On how she's taxed on this and taxed on that, and luckily her and her husband had enough money, but she's like, I understand where people get desperate.
Yes, they do.
And I think that's where we're at. I think people are becoming desperate. And so when you have nothing to lose, for example, I had back in the day, I was a foster parent.
Oh, thank you.
And I used to get kids for about 3 years. I did as a foster parent. And one thing I would see with kids, and it was amazing because the younger ones, and it didn't matter if they were black, white, Chinese, Hispanic, didn't matter. I became daddy about 30 minutes after being at my house. But you couldn't hardly ever give them anything because they always thought it was going to be taken away.
Oh my goodness.
So if I had them over Christmas and, bought them gifts, sometimes they would treat it like just garbage. And I couldn't figure out, and it would make me mad. I'm like, why are you guys doing this? I bought you this, for you. And we're going to have to leave it behind when we leave. And it's like, no, you're not. And they don't trust anybody.
Oh, that's so sad.
Because they feel they have nothing to lose.
Oh, that's
so think about all these kids we have in the system right now that feel they have nothing and they have nothing to lose because people don't care. So now I understand why, again, now we're saying that you know, what's going to change? We have to change that. And it's like I said, we just have to treat each other better overall. And like I said, let people know that, yeah, there's people out there that care.
Yeah.
You know, during COVID, I was working with the Boys and Girls Club, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do to keep the place open and what interaction we could have with kids, because they weren't going to school.
Yeah.
And at the time, they still hadn't figured out, you know, the
Zoom.
online classrooms and stuff
Zoom.
that didn't work and didn't teach our kids for 2 years.
Yeah.
So we started doing booklets.
Okay.
Booklets and coloring books and stuff to keep them active during the day, so they had something to do to keep their minds kind of going.
Right.
And it was amazing that it wasn't really, the kids were excited to get it, but the mothers that would come and pick up their little bags of activities for the week were so appreciative that someone cared enough to put something together, because they're going nuts, right? And all of a sudden they got their kids home 24/7.
Yeah.
They can't go anywhere. And it's just some common decency.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah, exactly. And common sense,
And
because
common
there's not
sense.
common sense out there.
Absolutely.
People don't have it. Do you think it has anything to do with the indoctrination of our children and that have grown up to be professors? Because I know my son, I'm very conservative. My family's conservative, but now he is not conservative and he went to college. So I think it has a lot to do with college professors. And
Well, definitely college professors.
Oh,
My
yeah.
daughter one of my daughters was going to Valdosta State,
okay.
and she was telling me, you know, she was frustrated because she was writing papers and was not graded on papers very well because she was conservative.
Oh yes, been
And
there,
she
done
wasn't,
that.
and she wasn't telling the professor basically what he wanted to hear.
Oh, you got that so right.
And you know, she's like, oh well, you know, they're going to have Stacey Abrams come and be a speaker. I said, you know what? You should tell him your dad's going to come and be a speaker. There was no way they were going to let me come and speak.
Oh no, I'm sure.
But you know, it's kind of like, hey, you should have both sides, right? That's what you should have. I don't mind if you're going to open up their minds and let them have two perspectives on something.
Exactly, but give them a choice.
But give them a choice.
Absolutely. Because I mean, right now, these kids, like I went to college and I had this one professor, I got in the class and he says, okay, how many of you watch Fox News and conservative networks? And we raised our hands. He says, you might as well get out because I don't want you in here. And I'm like, how can he get away with that?
Shouldn't.
But they can.
Shouldn't. In fact, that should have been rewarded to the college.
Oh, I did. They did nothing. I just went and got a different teacher who was more my, conservative value. But it's ridiculous what these professors think they can teach our kids. And that's probably why we have so many people doing these protests, because they're indoctrinated to say,
Not
hey,
just
it's
indoctrinated.
good.
Those are the professors that actually, I was watching one that I saw on TV. That is a professor that's out there with those folks.
Exactly. So they're following their example and they go, oh, well, if he can protest, I can get protest. Oh, I get paid to do this? Because I know one of the websites that I was seeing was when the scam and all that crap going on in Minneapolis, that fraud, they were advertising for kids to come to their school and they would pay them $1,500 a month. So they would show people that their kids are there. So I don't understand what's going with our country right now. It's heading in a really bad direction. And if we don't get some good people in there that cares about this country and our grandkids, it's going to be a mess.
But this is it, though. It's not on the federal. Quite honestly, it's not all about the federal level.
No, it's not.
It starts at the county level.
It
starts
does.
at the city level.
It does.
That's where we need to work on getting good candidates to run for office.
Yes, we do.
Because, again, as we said, it's at the state level that really should be, the state should be supporting themselves and controlling what's being taught, what bills are being passed. That should be happening at that level. In cities, I'm watching the cities, this all-American cities, right?
Right.
I'm watching tons of money being spent on, what is that? They're doing outdoor amphitheaters and stuff like that. For what? For what?
Yeah.
What's the purpose behind that?
Ew.
Then you've got them coming in replacing the local chamber of commerce. Now, some people have some issues with the chamber of commerce, but now I'm trying to think, well, if you already have a chamber of commerce, why do you need another group called the All-American City, that's basically doing the same job as the Chamber of Commerce? what's behind this? Because usually there's always something
There's
behind
always
this,
something.
right? So what direction are they taking your city? Now it seems great. You're getting federal funding. Stuff's being fed by NGOs. Why? Where are we going? People need to stop and go, why are we doing this? Are we selling our soul to the devil to have a local amphitheater? It doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-mm.
In fact, I'd rather you spend the money on, like I said, my community, I know, lives and dies on the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
Okay. Boys and Girls Club doesn't get money from the federal government, doesn't get money from the state.
They rely on donations?
They have to apply just like everyone else for grants and rely on donations. My county, majority of, I think it was 70 or 80% of all funding was coming in from local donations.
Wow.
So
that's a shame.
But like I said, most of the parents are two working parents. Kids have nowhere to go after school.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't we investing in that? Why are we investing in the other things that just...
Because conservative kids and people aren't important to these people. They don't.
But we have conservative communities.
I know, but not all communities.
But here's the thing. We have conservative communities that are run by non-conservative people. Look at Canton. City of
Canton.
Look at Woodstock. I mean, Cherokee County is still a red county, right?
Yes.
But why are all the local city and county officials, a lot of them are Democrats?
I don't know. Why is that? Why don't you elect Republicans?
Is it that Republicans are sitting on their hands in those counties when it comes to a primary? Mm-hmm. Is it that they're frustrated because just because you have an R next to your name doesn't make you a good person?
It doesn't. Because right now, if we learned anything from the convention, that we are a divided state.
We are a divided state.
Establishment, grassroots. Grassroots aren't budging, establishment's not budging. And right now, the grassroots are saying, I'm not voting for an R anymore just because they have an R. And I think a lot of people feel that same way, because I'm tired of getting swamp donkeys down at the Capitol, in Congress, in our local races. We have got to stand strong and get good people in with strong morals and values. And that is hard to do because good people don't want to run. So how do we get good people to run?
And if you have a good person, are they going to be supported by the state? Mm-hmm. That's really tough.
It is tough.
There's certain things that I would love to have for my campaign that I would hope that the party would help me with.
Well, our party's not going to help you with squat.
I know that.
They didn't help me when I ran.
Coming as the chairman from the party. I know that. I would like to change that, though. I mean, quite honestly, I mean, again, my idea going in and getting involvement with the party really changed about year 2, because I was like, oh, this is great. Behind me, I've got the support.
Yeah.
And then we started to realize, you know what? We're going to have to do this on our own.
Yes.
If we're going to make any changes, we're going to have to do it from the county level outward. And then I started working with and I've heard Betsy Young.
Yes.
Betsy Young was an amazing lady.
She was a sweetheart.
I just went to her last year. We went to her. She's 90 years old.
Oh.
But that woman runs circles around people.
Yes.
That woman, I remember we were doing a combined county chili cook-off just to get our members together. And I remember she's running around at that point. I think she was like maybe 87, 88 years old. Her shoe, her sole of her shoe comes off. She's like, who's got some duct tape? And she duct taped that sole back on her shoe and she just kept going. She was amazing. But I think that's where you have to have, if you've got good county chairs and they start working with other counties that have good county chairs, you can actually have a movement that goes forward. You can actually make some really positive changes and support each other. Or maybe they don't get the support in other places, but they know that they got each other's back. And it is for the most part. I know, like, again, I like to consider once you hit Pickens, you're in the mountains. That's where the mountains start. Yes. You're in North Georgia. North Georgia starts at the Pickens border.
Okay.
But most of the northern counties, they do. They embrace and support each other. And that's an amazing thing. Because, again, I've seen stuff happen. I've seen stuff. We still complain and have still a lot of the same issues that some of the counties south of us have. but
Mhm.
it can still change.
Mhm.
But we really do have to start working on finding good people to run. As I tell everybody, don't vote for me because I have an R next to my name. Vote for me because I'm the better person.
Absolutely. And people
That's
got to
it.
start waking up and realizing that. And if that means we have to sit out an election and let the Democrats win, then maybe that's what we need to do. Because I'm telling you, Dooley's standing against Ossoff. I'm not voting for him because he's an R, but he's paid for and bought by Kemp. And he will be Kemp's puppet. So a lot of people feel that way too.
There are some people, there are definitely people that feel that way.
Absolutely.
I just don't like being told, yeah, when there's somebody that we know that's bad, you got to vote for him
because they're an R. Yeah, I'm tired of that. I am so tired of that. We've got to. It should be an honor to run as a Republican. You should be proud of yourself and what you stand for, and not just do it because, oh, I can't get votes if I'm a Democrat, so I'll run as an R, but then I'm really a Democrat. And we know that when you get down to the Capitol.
I know that happened in the 11th district last time.
Yes.
You had a candidate that says and had been voting as a Republican that duped them and really did. And that's the whole thing when that accountability rule that we had in passing in Pickens.
Yeah.
We wanted to, if the Dems had that in place, they could have stopped her from running.
Yes.
But she showed up, she signed the oath and handed a check.
They don't care. It's a check.
It's a check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I cared. That's why I wanted the accountability rule, because I was tired of taking money from people I clearly knew that were not Republicans. As Democrats running as Republicans in my county, I wanted to have a say because it didn't make sense for me to sit there all week long as the chair. I felt like I was wasting my time.
Yeah.
I was just there to collect a check. It should never be that way. If you're going to represent the party and you know something different. Now, hey, Trump used to be a Democrat.
I know he did.
People can change.
They can.
I'd like to see them prove it first.
Yeah.
Besides just going, no, I'm a Republican now.
Yeah.
But yeah, people can change. But I know that has been the shtick that's been going on for years to get Democrats in places that only Republicans win.
Yes. And that's got to stop.
So, I mean, I know in my county, unless you're a Republican, you're not taking an office.
But a lot of counties don't have the accountability rule. I know Joanna up in Coosa County. She put the Catoosa, sorry. She put the accountability rule and she's still in a lawsuit over that. And I applaud her for being strong and standing up to those people and not letting them run as a Republican. And I have been trying to get that in our county for a long time, but they absolutely do not want it.
Well, I think they're afraid at this point. And I think, quite honestly, I would love to see the Republican Party stand up. And maybe it needs to come from the national level.
Maybe.
Right? To stand up and go, no, you guys have the legal right. Again, we're not saying all elections. We're not even saying state elections. All we wanted to do was have control of the county elections, right?
Yes,
our sheriff, our commissioners, our board of education, those positions. Again, it's a start. But
it's a start.
We do have the right to do that. I believe up and down with attorneys agreeing. Now, I did go and speak to all our elected officials.
Okay.
At the time when we introduced this. In fact, we were the first county to do this. And I went and explained, this is why we're doing this. And I told them, just like I just told you, I want to make sure we have actual Republicans running for office. Because I knew we had a problem in terms of the Board of Education. I knew we had Democrats running in the Board of Education in our county.
Yeah.
And it was funny because as we were doing interviews and setting up interviews, I'd get some very angry people calling up going, you need to tell me what the questions are. I need to know up front what the questions are.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
And I said, well, don't worry about it. I said, if you're a conservative, you should be able to answer these questions, no problem.
Yeah.
No, you need to tell me now what those questions are. So
my gosh.
I had 3 people make appointments that never showed up for their interview and never ended up qualifying. So to me, that was a victory.
It was.
I stopped 3 people from running.
That is amazing.
That clearly were too afraid to just answer basic. And that was it. Because when we sat down with the folks, we just asked them basic questions. Hey, Sheriff, are you going to stand up for our Second Amendment rights? Hey, hey, Board of Commissioners, please tell us on taxes. We need a conservative person, as a commissioner. You're going to be voting on things that are going to affect the tax base. There's nothing wrong with those questions. It wasn't something that you needed to study for. It's either you know it and you believe it or you don't.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Well, thank you for coming and speaking with us. I know the setup is a little different, but the other computer kind of died. But this has been fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us what you need for your campaign and where we can find information about it.
Mora for Georgia.
Okay.
MoraForGeorgia.com. We've got the infrastructure of the website. We're building up our volunteers. We need money. Like I said,
money.
I'm not, and
everybody needs money.
Everybody says the same thing. And I always tell everybody, hey, I've got all the money I need, but it's in your pocket. I need some help. I don't care if here's the thing we fail to realize. A lot of the grassroots maybe doesn't have a ton of money, but that $10 that maybe you have in your wallet, donation goes a long way. Maybe that buys me 4 signs.
Yes.
Right?
Do you hear that? 4 signs for $10.
So I need that help. I need help sharing my name.
Okay.
I need help. Yeah. So on social media, I'm on True Social, X, Facebook, Instagram. Go out there. If you see posts, share it with your neighbors. Say my name to your neighbors if you're in the 11th district. I need to get my name out. That's really what's going to stop.
Okay.
That's what's going to stop me. Money and name recognition.
Yep. So
and I am trying. There is not a place. If you ask me to come and speak, I will be there.
I know.
So please, like I said, there's nothing wrong with a $5 donation. Would appreciate it more than you can possibly imagine. We're going to do this one way or another. Okay. Yeah. So I have a feeling some people thought they could stop me from running. In fact, the minute I filed with the FEC, within 3 days, I got attacked electronically. Went into bank accounts, went into credit cards. Oh yeah, freaked me out. Had to change every single password. I knew at that point, they knew I was running.
Oh my goodness.
But it's not going to deter us because some of us that have been beaten down with other things, the election integrity stuff that, we're used to getting attacked.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have to, I'm kind of glad my kids don't live with me anymore. Okay? But, and they're like, Dad, you're crazy.
I've been called crazy.
You put yourself out there like this.
Yeah.
Somebody can do something. It's like, look, if I don't do it, who's going to? We don't need a placeholder anymore. That's what I feel like we have. We have lots of placeholders.
We do, don't we?
Yes. So let's stop doing placeholders and get somebody in there that actually wants to do the job.
Exactly. That's why you need to win. And
Absolutely.
We need to support him in any way we can. Share this, donate, help him, volunteer, door knock, phone bank, whatever. Reach out to him.
And if you have questions, reach out to me. I mean, please. Again, I work a job during the day. If it's after hours, I respond to everybody that, sends. If you leave me a voicemail message, at the end of the day, I will return your call. I will do my best to reach everybody. And I do. And there are people with problems that are looking for places to go.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can give them the correct number or give them the correct person to go to, I'd be more than happy to help.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming all this way and answering our questions. And I wish you the best of luck. And thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And if you need anything, just you let us know and we will get the word out. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, this is Noreen with Liberty Line, AKA Fireball. We want to thank Chris. Please go to his website,
MoraForGeorgia.com. Check out our music video. I have some very talented friends that put a campaign video together.
Oh, absolutely. Check it out. It is amazing. You will love it. It is such a beautiful, heartwarming video. But go to Chris's website, help him any way you can, donate. We've got to get Chris into Congress and get Loudermilk out because we need somebody in Congress that will do something and not just sit on their butt and just go, oh, well, I'll just collect a paycheck and not care about we the people. We have got to elect people that care about we the people, that will stand up for right and have standards, morals, and values. And Chris is that. So please vote for him. Again, this is Noreen, Liberty Line Podcast, AKA Fireball. We will see you on the next podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
No spin, no compromise. Courage fuels the fight. guarding the flame between what's wrong and right. Hold the line, shine a light, light a spark and burn it bright. Voices rise, correcting lies. Freedom rings when truth flies. Hold the line, shine the light, light a spark and burn it bright. Voices rise, correcting lies. Freedom rings when truth flies.